the House of Representatives is currently deliberating on a bill to extend the time limit for persecuting sexual offences committed against girls under the age of 13. The bill has passed its first reading. It aims to amend sections 218 and 221 of the Criminal Code Act. According to the existing section 218, any person who has unlawful carnal knowledge of a girl under the age of 13 years is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for life, with or without caning. Any person who attempts to have unlawful carnal knowledge of a girl under the age of 13 years is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 14 years, with or without caning. Lowry stated the 2-month period is not enough to gather the necessary evidence for a successful persecution. It acts as a defense that allows offenders to escape criminal responsibility even when it is clear that the accused committed the offense. He further elaborated that the 2-month window gives offenders an escape route from facing justice if the case is not pursued within that time. Often, the process of reporting the offense, arresting the suspect, investigating, collecting evidence, and starting a trial takes longer than 2 months. Lowry added that many factors, including threats, stigmatization, and a lack of willing witnesses, can delay the process, making the 2 months time limits impractical. The result, he said, is that after 2 months, the offender is free from any criminal responsibility while the victim is left without justice. Quickly, I would love to ask you, do you agree with those thoughts from the reps from the National House of Assembly that the 2 months period that is given is not enough?
Okay, I'll quickly say that it's a beautiful thing. The National Assembly is coming into this matter. Is heartwarming. I don't know whom Larry is, but I think that this one is loud because we are talking about is this sex offenders or sexual?
Yes.
We're talking about rapists here. Now, you give a rapist 2 months. You investigate the matter. Someone raped and dishonored a woman, a young lady, for, in most cases, even underage girls. And you give 2 months to investigate his crime. And after 2 months, he's left off the hook. Is that not what is implied here? Now, how insane can that be? In a country that we are supposed to be a beacon of hope
in essence,
for countries in Africa.
The National House of Assembly is saying that the 2 months period of time is actually a long duration to go through the investigation process. So they are asking for like a 1-year duration.
I am in league. I'm in league with the National Assembly, with the House of Reps.
So do you agree that the 1 year?
I agree with them that 2 months. What is 2 months? Look, let me tell you, a sex offender. Okay, let's look at people who are living in the same neighborhood.
Okay.
In the same neighborhood, and you know, this kind of people can commit their crime by any motive. It could be anything. It could be that they want to undo the family. It could be that they want to bring the name of the parents to disrepute. So they will say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. That's your daughter. I will dishonor her, and I will. What can you do? After all, some people can even commit that crime and leave the scene for like 6 months, and you don't see them again. And 6 months later, they resurface. And of course, the law, they have been let off the hook. And so the law can no longer, there is nothing. They didn't commit any crime anymore. It's over. And we are talking about something that is going to throw that woman, that girl, and that family into, you're going to have them in their state of, I don't know what do I call it now, the trauma. that lady, that girl, that family is going to endure that trauma for life. But the person who committed the crime, just 2 months was given for the authorities to investigate his matter and to know exactly what happened. So more often than not, actually, and even when they are able to establish the fact that the person actually committed the crime, what happened? The punishment is like a slap on the wrist, and they go away. And more often than not, I can tell you for free, sex offenders always go about telling their victims, did I not tell you nothing will happen? Things like that.
So do you think that most sex offenders actually get to escape the crime?
They escape, they escape justice. Nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to sex offenders in this country.
Anyone, or it depends on the class of the person, this offender?
All of them.
Why is that?
Because
why does that happen?
Yes, because there is no, because the law against sex offenders is not strong. There is, we don't see it as that, we don't see it as something wrong.
So you feel, are you trying to say in essence that no sex offender has been gotten, no victim of sex offense has gotten justice and time pass, even currently as it stands?
That is commensurate with what they did. I don't think so. I don't think they have actually gotten the punishment that is commensurate with what
why does that happen?
What they have done. Because in our society, up to this time, they didn't see it as something that is wrong or that is bad. I have heard the Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA. They have complained bitterly how police officers don't take their matter serious, don't take matters that have to do with sexual offense or crimes like that. I don't know if I'll call it crimes of passion. I don't think so. They don't take that crime seriously. They just they treat it with kid's glove, and so more often than not, the criminals are let off the hook. Nothing happens to them. And let me tell you something. When you're talking about sexual offense or sex crime, and these rapists and people like that, it's almost across every strata of society. There are some people you see, or people call big men, who rape girls, and I'm surprised they are limiting it to what do you call it? Underage girls. Some people rape grown-up women. Severally, they do it. They even rape them and kill some of them. But what I'm saying is, sorry, just to cut you short. Sorry, I have to cut you short there. Okay. See, let me tell you, the president, the president-elect of the United States, Donald Trump, when he was in office as the 45th president of the United States of America, he was badly rattled by issues that have to do with sexual harassment. Women were coming forward. Why? It's because they know there is a law that is strong enough to put his reputation under if it is proven. Well, it has to be proven. And that's why it should take time. That is why it should take time. You cannot, if you have not gotten the matter settled, if you have not investigated and come to a logical conclusion that this happened or did not happen, you cannot close the case. It shouldn't be something, it shouldn't have a time limit. Because what is this thing about time limit for someone who is going to suffer, who is going to suffer a trauma for life? This
I know you're not a practicing lawyer, but I'm sure you're aware of the word that an offender is not guilty until proclaimed guilty, even though the person is guilty. I wanted to ask a question. In an instance, you made mention of big men in your word, elites,
yes,
that rape women.
Yes.
In an instance where this alleged rape is actually true, there are evidence, there are proofs that this particular individual was victimized. She was raped.
Yeah.
She was sexually harassed. And there are proofs and all of that. Why would the investigation have to still linger for 1 year when there are already lots of evidence against this offender that he committed this crime?
Okay, to support.
Why linger that investigation up till 1 year?
No. See, look at the point. If the authorities, if the law enforcement agencies are able to prove their case against the offender in 1 month, why not? What is he committed the offense? Yes, true and true. The investigation points to it, and there is a body of evidence that supports the fact that he actually did it.
Okay.
So you met out his punishment to him. If he's going to be in jail for 15 years, so be it. If he should be in jail for 20 years, let him serve. You get my point?
Okay.
If you be in jail for 20 years, let him serve the 20 years. If he's going to be in jail for 3 years with hard labor, let him clean the community. That's what we are saying. See, the point we are making is simple. You see, people have to be responsible. We cannot continue to live in a life and in a situation where people just do something and they just get away with it. That's how you begin a lawless, that's how you begin a lawless state, a lawless community, a lawless society. If something is happening, people should be responsible. People should be accountable. You understand?
Okay. Quickly, I want you to throw more light on victims' reactions of victims. You talked about FIDA and all of that. Oftentimes, rape victims do not speak up because of the stigmatization.
Good.
And family, like you made mention, like this offenders would say, I want to deal with this family, I want to deal with this girl, I want to show them that I am capable of doing something like this, I want to get back at this girl for refusing my advances and whatever reason they might have. It's oftentimes when they succeed, the victim is always traumatized. The experiences are not always good. Most of the girls do not speak up because I don't want my family to see me in that sense. I don't want to be seen in that sense that I am sexually active, depending on the kind of family.
I don't want to see it. I don't
want it to be seen in that way.
I don't want it to see
do
me
you
in that
advise
light.
it's okay? Yeah, we have FIDA. Let's leave agencies that handle issues like this. Is that I want you to throw more light on that about this individual speaking up about situations like this and not holding it back.
Yeah, I think that what FIDA is doing is commendable.
Okay.
And FIDA, I've told Nigerians several times that victims are not coming up. They are not speaking up. Now, if victims are not speaking up, it's because of this problem of stigma. That happens because more often than not, you speak up. And what happens? The police will not do much. Like I said earlier, what they will eventually met out to you will be like a slap on the wrist.
Wait, the police will not do much in a sense that the offender is in a particular class?
Not
there
class.
Are different classes.
Or
it's any individual.
I don't think it's a class thing. Like I said, it cuts across the entire strata of society, and it's not really a class thing. Not because maybe the person is in a particular class. It's even worse when the person belongs to a particular class. So the police cannot, or the agencies might feel intimidated. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But FIDA, is a body of professionals who can face anyone. You understand, so to say. Now they don't have victims speaking up, because when victims, we see there are also societal problems, societal issues that has to do with that kind of speaks to the way that people conduct themselves. You talk about it. Oh, so this was what happened to our friend. Hey, so his family, and things like that. So all this is coming together. But one thing I want to say, which should be your take home, is that if the National Assembly succeeds with firming up the regulatory framework that is against this kind of crime, FIDA would have been emboldened. I'm just giving you an instance.
Okay.
And if there are NGOs as well, that are that work to rehabilitate issues like this, rehabilitate people who have fallen victim before, or people who are victims, and to also help with prosecution, as the case may be, they would have been emboldened to do more, because they know that when the time comes, when that person that is boasting, when the person eventually comes to law, he would be severely dealt with.
Okay. So that's more like you're trying to say the National Assembly should also build on that. They should hold more light on that.
Yes.
Aside the fact of
Yes.
extending timeline for persecution.
Yes, yes. Those are some of the clauses that should be part of what they are trying to put together now, so that this entire matter that have to deal with sex offenders will be seen by even those people who think they must get away with it. They must do that. They can just do whatever they want, and they don't have any honor for women. They will feel it. They will feel. See, there is a way people feel something, and they are deterred. Yes.
Thank you.